Hello there! Wow! Perfect! Wonderful! Well done!
Okay!
What's up everybody, the Nintendo Beast here, jumping back into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Today we are doing another first impression video. We've got a whole new wave, I believe it's the third wave now, of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass courses. So yeah, let's take a look. Oh, I've got Animal Crossing wheels now? So we're going with the Animal Crossing wheels, obviously. That's such a goofy configuration, but it's fine. Alrighty, so here they are. We've got the Rock Cup, which includes London Loop, Boo Lake, Rock Mountain, and Maple Treeway. Maple Treeway was one of my favorite courses from Mario Kart Wii, so I'm super excited to get my hands on that one. We've also got the Moon Cup, which includes Berlin Byways, Peach Gardens, Merry Mountain, which is appropriate for this time of year, and of course the 3DS version of Rainbow Road. So let's jump into the Rock Cup. Alright, so the first course up is the London Loop. This is from Mario Kart Tour, the mobile game. So I expect, if it's anything like all the other mobile courses that are ported to Switch, I imagine it's going to be very kind of simple. They're usually pretty dynamic. I'm just getting wailed on by red shells right now. Alright, so it looks like there... Oh, geez. I thought this was a way I could go. It looks like there are a lot of different paths. There are actually only like two. But... So we got a chain chomp over there. So, as was expected, lots of drifting. As is kind of to be expected at this point from Mario Kart Tour courses. But I'm not hating it. I am, for reference, I am running this course on 50cc. Just so I can get a good feel, and I don't have to worry too much about getting nailed by power-ups the entire time. Although, one thing that's very, very cool, they actually just added, was, I believe they just added it with this update. Or maybe it was like a separate update that just happened to roll out at the same time as the Booster Course Pass wave. I'm not totally sure, but the ability to select which power-ups are available in certain... specifically online or offline single-player races. So if you're sitting on the couch, similar to... I could have used my thingamajig there, I think. Similar to the way Super Smash Bros. Allows you to set up custom game types and decide what power-ups you want to see enter the brawl. You can now do that with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I believe, to some extent as well. I have not tested out this functionality, but it does seem pretty cool. This chain chomp is just straight up on the loose. I'm gonna get out of this area before that comes to literally bite me in the butt. Oh my god, they're all on the loose! Run! Oh my god, that was just running through the river over there. Or through the canal. Alright, so the final lap, these chain chomps just break loose. And then, luckily, I have not come in contact with one yet. They've always been at, like, the opposite side when I come through. Whee! That's fun. So I don't know how detrimental they're going to be, but I'm sure on online multiplayer, I'll get snuffed out by the... Yeah, I was going to say, really? It's a bit overkill. I'm sure once I jump onto online multiplayer, I'll get snuffed out by those rogue chain chomps constantly. I love this little shy guy sitting at the bus stop, though. I love it. Alright, so there's the finish line for London Loop, and I have to say, I love it. That's a really fun course. I have no frame of reference. I can't say like, oh yeah, that's my favorite so far. In fact, it is my favorite so far, because it is literally the first I've played so far, but it does look like there are variables. It's dynamic as you go through. The course does change up. Obviously, the most noticeable change up is, I believe, when the chain chomps break free of their chains at the end of, or the last lap of the race. I do like the bridge that goes up and down. That's a fun little touch. I didn't get a really good ramp off of it during my my first playthrough here, but I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun course, and it's just simple enough. It's simple enough to not be like, for an idiot like me who just runs into walls and off cliffs constantly, it's simple enough that I can just blaze through it and have fun, but it's also complex enough that it's not just like boring, you know? It's a nice twisty and turny kind of course, and I enjoy it. That's my educated, my academic review of it. But anyway, on to Boo Lake from the Game Boy Advance. Mario Kart Advance, I believe it was called. So for me, who's a big Mario Kart 64 fan, this reminds me of... oh man, what was it actually called? It wasn't Boo's Lake. It was a terrible course. I hated it. It's one of my least favorite in all of Mario Kart 64. Anybody who's familiar with Mario Kart 64, they know what course I'm talking about. It's the one that looks pretty much exactly like this, where you have to go through or basically drive around the haunted pier. There are boos coming at you. It's a wee bit spooky. And this is definitely reminiscent of that. This does very much feel like a course off the Game Boy Advance, I would say. Like, it feels pretty flat, and I can picture it in my head. I never played the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart game. Mario Kart Advance, I'm pretty sure it's called. I never played it, at least not to my memory. My memory is pretty garbage, though, so, you know, maybe. But just playing the Switch version of it, I can totally see this as a Game Boy Advance course. But I can also see that they went to pretty decent lengths to kind of amp it up and make it a little bit more fitting to the Switch. But it is pretty simple. In comparison, I think I have to say I like London Loop better so far. It's not super dynamic. It does feel very much like this is just a very simple, slightly upgraded port of a Game Boy Advance race course. Nice twists and turns of the course, but it's not... feels very flat. It feels like the only thing they really added to make it a little bit more conducive to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a little bit more conducive to Switch, is that underwater portion of it. And even that is just like, it feels a lot like the same as the above water portion, just underwater for the sake of being underwater. But still fun. I don't know if there are any that's not true. There are a couple Mario Kart 8 Deluxe courses that I personally find outright not fun. Some of the F-Zero courses. I think one of the at least one, I don't know how many there are, but I think one F-Zero course on here that I just absolutely hate it. Because I just suck so bad, and that course is just not well fit for people who suck as bad as I do. Just off the cliff constantly. I'm just no good at it. But anyway, on to the 3DS Rock Mountain. So, I did play Mario Kart 7 on Nintendo 3DS, but for some reason, despite... I'll have to, like, play through this and see if I actually remember... No, I remember this course. Yeah, okay. Despite actually remembering the real version of this course, in my mind, I immediately went to DK's Mountain, I think it was called. From, Double Dash. I would love to see that one remade. I don't think that isn't in the base game, is it? I feel like I could just put together a list. I'm so, like, unobservant. I feel like I could put together a solid list of all the nostalgic Mario Kart courses from previous games that I'd love to see in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as part of these Booster Course Pass waves. And, like, probably, like, half of them, people in the comments would be like, that's already part of the base game, you moron. Oh, boy. Okay. Here. Alright, so yeah, this is pretty much exactly how I remember it. There could be variations? Ooh, almost just died there. I guess there could be variations that I'm not noticing, but from what I remember, which, again, my memory isn't great, but this feels very much... This feels pretty similar to the version on Mario Kart 7. If not identical. Whoa there! Alright, let's see if I can do this and not get hit by a rock, maybe? Uh-oh! Oh, my banana peel must have snuffed somebody out back there. There's nobody even near me, so I don't know what the point of having this bomb is. I'll just throw that. Maybe I could have thrown it. Can bombs hit bats? Can bombs hit bats? Because I should have... If it can, I should have used it for that purpose. Because while my banana peels, I can drop and actually hit people from, you know, a lap away. But yeah, I know DK Mountain from Double Dash. I found myself, do I have Joy-Con drift? Is that what I just experienced there? Or was there wind? That was really weird. Anyway. I'm actually not using my Pro Controller right now. Because my Pro Controller was just about dead. So I'm actually using my Joy-Con grip here. And I think I just experienced my first bout of Joy-Con drift with my new Joy-Cons. So that's fun. They're not new, but they're newer than my first pair. Anyway. So that one, exactly like I remember it, and therefore, I had fun. Pretty good. I would still say London Loop is probably my favorite so far. But we do have one more course to jump into here, so let's see if the Rock Cup closes out strong. So far, oh, it's Maple Tree Way, so you know it's gonna close out strong. You know it's gonna close out strong. All right, let's do it. It's Maple Tree Way. You know it's gonna be a contender. So Maple Tree Way was one of my favorite Mario Kart courses from Mario Kart Wii. And I can't say for certain that I would be able to recognize... Same thing with the last one, with, like... The only one, I think I would be willing to go on record and say the only Mario Kart game with few enough courses and that I played enough that I'd be able to recognize instantly, like, differences, even subtle ones, is Mario Kart 64. I played so much Mario Kart 64. Nice. I played so much Mario Kart 64. And there are, in comparison, so kind of few courses on Mario Kart 64 compared to, like, Mario Kart Wii. I think Mario Kart Wii had significantly more courses. Maybe I could be lying. But regardless, I played so much Mario Kart 64 that if I played a Mario Kart 64 remaster, I would instantly be able to tell, like, this is different. Of course, it's not really a big deal. It's not really the case because all of the Mario Kart 64 courses that came to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe have been very obviously remastered. They weren't subtle differences. They were very obvious, glaring I want to say upgrades, but remasters, I'll say. Whereas some of the later games, like Mario Kart Wii, a lot of the courses that came from that version of the game didn't. The courses aren't really all that different from their original versions. So Maple Treeway feels pretty much exactly like it did. Coconut Mall feels pretty much exactly like it did. Oh my god, dude, the lightning. Let me hit this. And then the same thing with 3DS. The 3DS courses also feel like they're pretty much just upscaled versions of the same thing. Which I'm not mad at. I think the only reason the older games have to be remastered so intensely, and I feel like Mario Kart 64 is questionable when I say this. I feel like Mario Kart 64 courses, I don't know why I keep saying classes. I feel like Mario Kart 64 courses, they could, in theory, be left pretty much as they were. And I think they would be perfectly fine as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe courses. I don't know. But for whatever reason, Nintendo did decide to completely overhaul the N64 courses, so I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. But I feel like they could have been just left as is, just, you know, upscaled and polished, like they did with the Wii and the 3DS courses. But I digress. You could definitely see why they obviously upgraded or, like, completely remade, like, Game Boy Advance courses and, you know, Super Nintendo courses and what have you. Because, like, the original courses they weren't even three-dimensional. They were sprite-based. They were, you know, they'd be really weird. They'd be real weird to play in a 3D game, obviously. If, you know, not even possible for some of them. So that makes sense. But as far as the Nintendo 64 goes, strange. It's strange in my mind that they don't just kind of remaster them, upscale them, what have you. But whatever. So that was the Rock Cup. And Maple Treeway. Maple Treeway, I think Maple Treeway is my favorite. It's hard to say, though. I think London Loop was a really good course, though. So Maple Treeway and London Loop are definitely up there as my top two. I'm not totally sure which one's my favorite yet. But those two are definitely up there as my top two from the Rock Cup. So let's jump into the next cup then. Alrighty, so next up here we got the Moon Cup. Let's dive in. So the first course up from the Moon Cup is the Berlin Byways, another one from Mario Kart Tour, obviously. If it's anything as good as London Loop, I'm pretty stoked to play this one. I haven't been super impressed. New York Minute, I think it was called, was pretty cool from a previous wave. But I haven't been super impressed by the Mario Kart Tour courses as of late, or as of yet. London Loop might be my favorite. I'll have to revisit New York Minute, though, because I think I do remember enjoying New York Minute, but I don't think I remember enjoying it quite as much as I enjoyed the London Loop. So now we're racing through Berlin. I feel like... How should I say this? I think what they're doing with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is not only super smart, but it's just overall, like, I love it. Like, it's very cool that they have the booster course passes. My one thing is kind of like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, right? It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So you have the most maps. You have the most fighters. It's like a culmination of everything that Super Smash Bros. Has been. I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Nintendo is basically doing that. They're giving that same kind of treatment to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I just feel weird about how it's a deluxe version of the Wii U game. Like, I feel like this should be, I don't know, Mario Kart Ultimate. You know what I mean? Like, just a culmination of everything great about the Mario Kart franchise, building up this one... Like, I don't know if I would want to say, like, oh, I feel like it should be the last game in the Mario Kart franchise. I don't know about that, but, like, it feels like it should be something bigger than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if that makes sense. Crap. Oh, geez, I just ramped off that guy's head. Okay. I guess, like, this feels like Mario Kart 10 or Mario Kart X. You know what I mean? Like, something... The fact that there's, like, an outlying Wii U version of this game that's just getting no love and will never get any kind of love. Are you serious? Well, oh, I laughed him. Okay. I was about to be really mad. But yeah, the fact that there's like the original Mario Kart 8 is just out there, barely existing on the Wii U, and then the Switch Deluxe version of it's out here getting all of this love as one of the most, like, the top selling Nintendo Switch games of all time, and getting all these courses and basically getting this, like, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate treatment where, you know, they keep rolling out more and more updates for it and what have you, even though it's like a, I don't know, 10-year-old game. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, technically, I don't know how old this game is. I mean, even the deluxe version is pretty old now, right? It was like I don't remember if it was a launch title with the Switch. I don't think it was a launch title with the Switch. In fact, it definitely wasn't. There were only like 3 launch titles with the Switch. It was like 1-2 Switch, Breath of the Wild, and like Bomberman, I think. I think Bomberman was one of them. But anyway, so this wasn't a launch title per se, but it was definitely very early in the game, and it's just been one of, if not the top-selling Nintendo Switch games since launch. So this is Peach's Gardens, right? I'm sorry, I was rambling so much that I just completely missed my opportunity to review the last one. Berlin Byways, it's aight. It's no London Loop, but it's aight, you know? So this one's Peach's Garden. This is a terrible, terrible idea. I'm gonna get 8. Haha, I survived. I forget which console this is from. Wait, can I pause? No, I can't. I mean, I can, but it's... So we got some Monty Moles popping up. I definitely remember... Always, dude. It's always the case. There's always a banana peel hiding behind that I could use to deflect a turtle shell. And it's always hiding right behind this coin. And I'm always just too late to redeem it. Alright, now I'm racing through Peach's Garden. I'm curious, so the most recent Nintendo Direct event, excluding obviously the Mario movie one, because that wasn't really a Nintendo Direct event. I mean, it was, but it... Oh my god, dude. Haha, I survived. But the most recent Nintendo Direct game showcase was, like, totally just a farming simulator. Like, all of them were, like... It was, like, JRPGs and farming sims, and that was it, right? My question is, why hasn't there... If Nintendo loves farming sims so much, why hasn't there been a Peach-themed... What was that? Why hasn't there been a Peach-themed farming sim? Called, like, Peach's Garden or something? Where you just play as Peach, and it's like Animal Crossing, but it's inside Peach's castle. And you just take care of... You band together with a legion of toads, and you just, like, garden. And grow crops. Lol. LOL, I'm gonna hit everybody. It's gonna hit me. I had to swerve. Oh, no! So the last lap of this is just in reverse. I think, right? That's what it seems like. So that's a fun little element. Kind of annoying at times, but it's a fun little element. Oh, and then we get to just soar over this part. That's pretty dope. Through a bush. Why, dude? Why, dude? Why? 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 Why is this happening? Leave me alone. The race is over. Okay, now I feel like this is not even like... I feel like I'm not even on the race course anymore. I feel like I'm just driving in circles at this point. Oh, but this is kind of cool. You end up on like the doorstep of the castle. Anyway. So that was a pretty cool course. Kind of convoluted and confusing that last lap. I thought I was just going backwards, and maybe I was, but it felt like I was just kind of like... I don't know where I was going. I felt very lost. It was alright. I wouldn't say this course was anything special. But, I don't know. On to the next. So, yeah, I think a Peach game would be cool, though. Like, I was excited when we got, Merry Mountains. This one's original, I believe, to a Nintendo Switch, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think this is a new course, not a port or a remaster. This is this wave's new course. And I am here for it, being a week before Christmas. But I really enjoyed... I love this. I love this course already. But, I really enjoyed the fact that Captain Toad Treasure Tracker became a thing. I love that Captain Toad has his own game. And I feel like it's just a matter of time, like, why don't other... You got, like, WarioWare, right? And you got Luigi's Mansion. But outside of that, like, there's never been a real Bowser game. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a massive Bowser fan, if you couldn't tell by my main configuration here in Mario Kart. I never don't play as Bowser. In any Mario Kart game. Or really any Mario game where Bowser is a playable character. If given the choice between any selection... I'm going to take the train tracks this time. any selection of Mario characters. With the sole exception being, I want to go down that slope over there. But with the sole exception being Super Smash Brothers, I've never really played as Bowser. Maybe I will at some point. I usually main Samus. I'm also terrible at Super Smash Brothers, but... And maybe that's why, but I don't know. Wait, do I get to go down this? Yes. Yes? Yes. Oh, wait, I did this already, didn't I? It just looked more exciting from a distance. I see the toads up there. It looks like they're dropping something. I love this course. It feels like a course that... It feels like it should be seasonal. It feels like this course should only be playable during the month of December or something. That would be fun. I dig it, though. This course right now is just getting me in the holiday spirit. I'm just going to play this course on loop for the next week straight. Just to recapture the childlike whimsy of Christmas. Anyway. Yeah, no, I really enjoy this course. I love the music of it. All around, very, very cool course. It is very simple. But it's also well designed. Like it's a really, really pretty course to play through. So yeah, I think that one's my favorite so far from this grouping. But there is one more course, so let's dive into it. In closing, what I was saying was, we've had Yoshi games, obviously. I'm a big fan of Yoshi's Story. But there are, obviously so many more. We've had Yoshi games, 3DS Rainbow Road. I remember explicitly hating this one on Mario Kart 7, so we'll see how I enjoy this one. This might give the last course an easy win. But I feel like it's a glaring missed opportunity that Peach and Bowser have never received independent games or like standalone spin-off games. I just feel like there's a lot of potential for it. Ah, no! No! I hate it already. No, not right up. I was gonna say right off the cliff. This looks really, really good on Switch. But I have to say, it's not quite as I remember it on 3DS. It might be exactly like it was on 3DS. It's very possible that it is. And I'm just, like, not remembering it correctly. But it feels kind of weird for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it just... Maybe, like, the color schemes and everything, it just looked different on 3DS? I don't know. Oh, my God. I do remember this, like, lunar landing part, though. And I certainly remember this wavy section of garbage. This wavy section of garbage. At least I think I remember this part. Oh, Jesus. Just totally going in the wrong direction. Alright, so we're on to the third segment here. I actually love courses like this. I love courses like this where, rather than being like traditional laps, you have like segments or like legs of the race. Oh, jeez. So, rather than playing, going the same course 3 times, it's like each lap is just a different leg of the race. and each one is different. So I will have to say that I actually really, really enjoyed that. Definitely not a fan of any course that allows me to drive off a cliff, especially in the opening 30 seconds of the race. Not a big fan of that because I suck, and if you give me a cliff to drive off, I will drive off it 100% of the time. But with that said, I think I still have to give it to, what was it, Merry Mountain? I think I still have to say Merry Mountain was my favorite from the Moon Cup. But let's see it here. Let's see this gold trophy. I don't care about Boo. Yeah, show Boo blowing me up with a blue shell a little bit more, why don't you? And me throwing power-ups at nobody. Yeah, so Merry Mountain... Merry Mountain is easily my favorite of those. And I have to say, like, it's pretty impressive that you're stacking up new courses. Every single wave here with the Booster Course Pass, you're stacking up new courses against, like, classic courses. Some of them are remade and some of them are meh. But you're looking at, like, classic courses that, you know, elicit nostalgia and what have you. And a lot of the time, the new courses are actually ending up to be, like, the best courses of the waves. So that's pretty... Ooh. For some reason, I kind of dig that. So, now we're going to decide... I'm going to decide which course of the new 8 of this wave is my favorite and which is my least favorite. So, right out of the gate, let's start with least favorite, the worst in show, shall we? First one that comes to mind, Boo Lake. It's aight. Nothing to write home about. It's very, very much just aight. Rock Mountain was pretty good. Again, nothing to write home about, but it's pretty good. Peach Gardens, it would be... I think for worst in show, it would be between Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS and Boo Lake from Game Boy Advance. But I'm gonna have to give it to Boo Lake. I think Boo Lake is my least favorite. It wasn't a bad course. It wasn't a course that I genuinely hated. It was just kind of boring. It was pretty flat. The only really interesting part of the course was when it went underwater. And even when it went underwater, it wasn't super interesting. It was just basically the same thing, but underwater, like I said before. So I'm gonna have to give my least favorite course from this wave. I'm gonna give that award to Boo Lake. And then when it comes to my best in show, my favorite course from this wave, I would say it's probably between Merry Mountain, Maple Treeway, and London Loop. And Maple Treeway, like I said before, was one of my absolute favorite courses off of Mario Kart Wii. So there's already a bit of nostalgia. And there was already a huge amount of love for that course going into it before I even stepped on the gas. But this is tough. This is genuinely really tough. I think Merry Mountain, I loved Merry Mountain. It's a lot of fun. The slope, the downward slope that looked really cool from a distance is kind of boring when you actually get to it. It's pretty empty. The course itself is not super exciting. It's very well decorated, and it looks really, really nice, and it's fun to race on, but I think after this month, after the holidays are gone, I'm gonna feel a lot less enthusiastic about this course. I think it's just hitting something right now. It's hitting different right now because it is like a week, like not even a week before Christmas. So I think it's just hitting the right notes, like a Christmas movie, like a Christmas movie most Christmas movies suck 11 out of 12 months of the year. You know what I mean? But then you watch it at Christmas time and you're like, Christmas spirit. Like, there are 11 months out of the 12 months of the year, there are better movies to watch. But you watch Christmas movies, you know, in December because they're Christmas movies and you want to get in the spirit. And I feel like Merry Mountain might be one of those courses. 11 months of the year, there are going to be significantly better courses to race on. But for the month of December, Merry Mountain will always be a fan favorite, or at least a favorite for me. So as much as I hate to say it, as much as I don't want to be a Grinch here, I'm gonna have to knock out Merry Mountain, and then just eliminate it, and just that brings me down to just Maple Tree Way and London Loop. I want to say London Loop, but I'm gonna have to give it to Maple Tree Way, I think. I think that's my final answer. It's a really tough decision. It's like a really close, it's like a tie. If I could give a tie, which I can, because it's, you know, my video, my rules, but I won't, because that feels like a cop-out. I'm gonna give it to Maple Tree Way. I loved Maple Tree Way on Mario Kart Wii. I loved it here. It's exactly the same from what I remember. So, you know, there's nothing different about it. London Loop, though, is a very, very close second, if not a tie for first. So much fun. And then Merry Mountain is close behind. But, you know, it might be through a, I might be seeing Merry Mountain through a holiday, a red and green lens, if you will. Romanticizing it because of the time of year it is right now. But anyway, so those were the Rock Cup and the Moon Cup from Wave 3 of the Booster Course Pass. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of these 8 new courses. How does this wave stack up against the previous 2 courses, or waves, rather? And we're only halfway through, which is super exciting. We're only halfway through the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. We've still got a whole year. These will just be staggered throughout 2023, which is exciting. And I'm loving it so far. This is great. This is like, bravo, Nintendo. I had to say, the Booster Course Pass, I was excited when you announced it, but like as it rolls out, it's just been a lot of fun having these different waves of new courses roll out throughout the year. But like I said, let me know what you thought of this wave in the comment section below. What's been your favorite course added through the Booster Course Pass thus far? Not just this wave. I mean, tell me what's your favorite from this wave, what's your least favorite as well, but just overall, what's your favorite course that's been added so far? Let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel here and ring that bell for notifications for when I do live streams here on the channel in the near future, and when I upload new video content to the channel. Generally speaking, I upload new videos to the channel every single weekday, Monday through Friday of every single week, so you don't want to miss out. Make sure you're subscribed and getting those notifications. Make sure to smash the like button on this video, and like I said already, leave me a comment in the comment section below. But until next time, I am the Nintendo Beast. Thank you so much for watching.